Edo State Government led by Governor Monday Okpebholo has issued an executive order, blacklisting a government-registered acclaimed sociocultural organization, the Neo-Black Movement, NBM, as a violent organization among those responsible for violent crimes of high rates of secret cult-related homicide killings in the state, and in a swift reaction, the president of the Neo-Black Movement of Africa, NBM, Olorogun Ese Kakor, while speaking with a panel of presenters at Arise News Television during the TV program, accused the governor, Monday Okpebholo, of allegedly using members of the Black Axe Confraternity during his election, adding that the governor never consulted with them to know if members of Black Axe Confraternity are also members of the Neo-Black Movement, saying, the governor is now attacking NBM because of Black Axe, stressing that Black Axe Confraternity is a criminal organization, insisting that members of the confraternity are never members of the NBM, and shortly after the NBM President's statement, large group of youths in Edo State led a solidarity protest march to the Edo State Government House in Benin City to express their support and willingness to defend the government policies and actions to stop the massive destructions of lives and creation of young widows and high rates of fatherless children in the state due to secret cult activities. This, assessments of some of the pro-government policy protesters indicated that some of them are people who may have identified themselves in the past as members of the Neo-Black Movement, and they also appeared to be people very loyal to one of the prominent leaders of the NBM, Anthony Adun aka Tony Kabaka, who trended when he was interviewed about the activities of the NBM in a BBC documentary published by the British Broadcasting Service some years back. Addressing the pro-government policy protesters on Monday at the State Government House in Benin City, Governor Monday Okpebholo said he will not listen to any form of blackmail and he will continue the fight to end insecurity in the state. In quotes, the governor said, "Yesterday, I addressed a peaceful rally by courageous Edo youths who, like me, are tired of the senseless killings and destruction caused by cultism. I told them what I'll tell you now. Every Edo life matters. If I had fallen victim to cult violence as a young man, I wouldn't be here serving you today. We will continue to act decisively. No threats, no blackmail, no fear will stop us. Buildings linked to cultism will be demolished. Criminals will be rooted out. And together, with the backing of our determined young people, we will reclaim our state. Edo must be safe, for our families, for our future, and for the investments and opportunities we seek to attract. This is practical governance in action, and it will not stop." Also on Monday, the state governor, Monday Okpebholo, through the office of the chief press secretary, Fred Ichua, said that Neo-Black Movement, NBM, is involved in violent crimes in the state, hence he issued an executive order and revoked the certificate of occupancy of land. The NBM international headquarters was situated at Amagba area in Benin City, and ordered the demolition of the house. The press release reads verbatim, "Edo State Government under the leadership of Governor Monday Okpebholo has explained and given wider clarifications to the new anti-kidnapping laws in the state, with specifications that friend or family member of suspected kidnapper or any person suspected to have made an attempt to kidnap, discovering such friend or family member to have hidden or provide a temporary stay or shelter to the criminal suspect, with complete disregard to the level of innocency such a friend or family member may be found to be in connection with the crime. The new laws stipulate 14 years imprisonment with no option of fine for such shelter provider or providers." The Edo State Government published the clarification a day after the government demolished a house of an elder sister of suspected kidnap gang member along College Road at Aduawa area in Benin City simply because the suspect was living in the house, according to the news reporters broadcasted by Okpebholo Television, with additional information that the elder sister of the suspect is not living in Nigeria. She has been in abroad where she has been working and providing financial support to her younger brother, who got himself into the crime of kidnapping business for a reward of 350,000 nairas. The Edo State Government, while giving the clarification through the office of the press secretary to the governor in a news feature in which the chief press secretary, Fred Ichua, titled, A step-by-step breakdown of new kidnapping prohibition law in Edo State, said the new laws were with stringent principles to deter people from going into kidnapping and providing any form of aid to suspected kidnappers with a view to guarantee public safety and restore confidence in the law enforcement and judicial system in the state. In his words, the governor press secretary said, in Edo State, Governor Monday Okpebholo and members of the State House of Assembly are united in taking a firm stand against the escalating threat of kidnapping. The Edo State House of Assembly has passed the Kidnapping Prohibition Amendment Law 2025. This amended legislation marks a bold legislative milestone aimed at tightening the noose on kidnappers, their accomplices, and enablers. It reflects a sharpened resolve by the government to enhance public safety and restore confidence in law enforcement and judicial systems within the state. Under this amended law, the penalties for kidnapping have been significantly strengthened. In what is considered one of the most stringent anti-kidnapping frameworks in the country, the law prescribes the death penalty for anyone who is directly involved in the act of kidnapping where a life is lost. For cases where victims survive the ordeal, a convicted kidnapper now faces life imprisonment, a stern departure from lighter sentences in previous enactments. Furthermore, the law introduces a minimum sentence of 21 years for anyone who aids, abets, conspires, or attempts to commit the offense of kidnapping, reflecting the government's intention to criminalize not just the act itself but the entire chain of support behind it. Another groundbreaking aspect of the amendment is the provision targeting those who provide shelter, hideouts, or logistical support to kidnappers. Such individuals, regardless of whether they directly participated in the crime, are now liable to a minimum of 14 years imprisonment upon conviction. Edo State Police Commissioner Monday Okpebholo has cautioned operators of point-of-sale (POS) to be careful while allowing men of the Nigeria Police Force (NPF) in unmarked vehicles to transact with them, with specific instructions that the POS operators in the state must henceforth demand and keep the official records of such policeman or policemen he or she decides to do business with, before initiating any financial transaction with the security operatives. The Commissioner of Police made this known on Thursday after he hosted a group of stakeholders in the entertainment industry in the state to a meeting held at the Commissioner's office on Tuesday, following the massive public outcry which include voices from some popular entertainment celebrities like Afua Gift Esohe aka Edo Princess, Lawrence Osrenko aka MC Casino, Badamosi Agbonjo Jonathan aka Edo Pekin among others who trend on social media the allegations of policemen constantly harassing and extorting money from young Nigerians in the ancient city, Benin City, the Edo state capital. The allegations apparently gave further sufficient strength to the virtual evidence of a white lady seen on social media on April 27, 2025 video recording group of policemen along the airport road in Benin City who allegedly turned official roadblock of stop and search to prevent crime into a criminal ambush of threatening to attack innocent citizens, probably to rob them at gunpoint by thus forcing them to pay them certain amount of money through the aid of a POS operator. Also during the week, the Commissioner of Police in Edo State held a meeting with the State Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, IOJ Primo, where both discussed ways to curb acts of extortions in the state. CSP Moses Yamu, the Edo State Police Command Public Relations Officer, in a statement made available on Thursday stated that the Edo State Command is aware of some social media reports alleging policemen involvement in certain acts of harassment and/or extortion in the state. In a deliberate effort to checkmate and arrest the situation, the Edo State Commissioner of Police, CP Monday Okpebholo, FDC, has mapped out some steps, part of which was an engagement with social media influencers in the state held in his office on the 13th of May 2025 and directed the immediate reform of the anti-money laundering unit. CP Okpebholo further directed that henceforth, 1. All policemen in the state, tactical teams, area commands, and other special teams, must have their name tags sewn permanently on their uniforms. 2. All unmarked vehicles used by the aforementioned teams must carry stickers on the front and both sides of the vehicle while on any assignment. 3. All POS operators in the state are to be cautious when transacting with police officers in unmarked vehicles. They must ensure the particulars of such policemen are taken for record and reference purposes before transacting with them. These are in addition to the immediate retraining of personnel across the state, including area commands and divisions. The Commissioner of Police warned that any policeman or team found violating these directives would be decisively dealt.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.